Camogus.
Hello everybody, this is me, Zexon Clover, and today I'm back with another manga collection video for 2022. And before we get into the video, if you directly want to get to the manga collection part, you can skip right to this part because I'm gonna do a bit of a rambling over here. But your guys' support has been immense, and I feel quite guilty that I'm not able to upload as often. And now, especially the manga collecting space and manga tubing space in India has grown so diverse. When I started, there was only Pratyavaiter doing content, hardly, but now there are so many new creators out there. You might have seen them in your recommendation feed. Do give them a try. They have been doing so good on this platform, and I have talked with a lot of them also. I won't name any names over here, but if you know, you know. And more than being a proper YouTuber, I'm just a 13-year-old in his bedroom talking about a hobby that I truly love. But I hope I can be more consistent this year, hopefully. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. This year, my taste in manga has especially changed a lot. I have been preferring new series, and I have grown in love with some series that I used to love before. Again, if this series is not an example, I don't know what is. But let's get started. First of all, we have Sherlock, A Study in Pink. Nothing much to say. A great mystery manga. I haven't been able to continue it. We have Blue Flag. Okay, and this manga collection video, I'm gonna go all out on some of these series. Blue Flag is a romance manga about a bunch of high schoolers in high school. If you love slice of life manga by any chance, I don't know how you will not love this series. This series, this is just too good. I love Blue Flag. I've been able to continue it, but the cliffhanger of the first volume, if you know, you know, it was actually so good. We have Planetes. My editor, who is editing the video right now, also I think got Planetes, and Planetes is just an amazing series. It's about a bunch of people cleaning garbage in the middle of space, of something very unconventional. I think if you hear the concept alone, you'll be like, what the hell am I reading? What the hell is the series? But if you really get into it, this is a very dark and mature series. So only if you can handle that, I'll recommend you Planetes. It's very good. And Batman and the Justice League, amazing artwork. But I think if you really want to get into this, I think we should just watch the movies, because even though the artwork is really good, the story was kind of lackluster in this volume, I'll say. Now we have Naruto, the official fan book. Then we have the series. Now Naruto, when I turned around 12, I sort of fell out of Naruto. I wasn't too into it. But I used to be a big Naruto head when I was 11. And this series just won my heart. It was the first manga series that won my heart over. And now that I have read it again, it's such a good series. Like, it's an action series with a lot of comedy. Not a romance, but if you want a good starter shonen with a very fun main character, and you are new into collecting manga, I don't think what else is better than Naruto. Even more than Shippuden, the starting of Naruto is just perfect, and I have fallen in love with this series time and time again, and now I'm back into love with it. Amazing series right here. And now we have Jujutsu Kaisen. Now I'll call Jujutsu Kaisen and the darker shonen in Shonen Jump. If you don't know what a shonen manga is, basically a demographic of manga that is aimed for teenagers, and they're usually pretty lightweighted. But Jujutsu Kaisen, this is pretty grotesque, but the fight and the action in this series, and the rough artwork for Jujutsu Kaisen manga, I don't know, it is something else. I think if you like dark and grotesque series, and if you want to see a main character dealing with what is the concept of death, what is considered a good death, I think we have Black Torch, we have Spy X Family, Air Gear. Black Torch was an amazing series. I hope that it will get a continuation someday. I don't know why they cancelled it, but it's an amazing series. Spy X Family, I'm absolutely obsessed with this series. I just can't get my hands on volume 2 for some reason. And we have Air Gear. I read this one, and it's funny, but I don't know, this series just does not do it for me, so I'll probably not continue it. and I'll give it a try once again, see if I like it more. But here we have Bleach. Also, Spice Family is getting a what do you call it, anime next year, which is very hype. I'm so glad that they made an anime for that. But now we have Bleach, and this is, I think, a second-hand manga. But Bleach, I'm going with the anime. Also, the 1,000-Year Blood War arc is returning this year. Do tell me if you watched the trailer. I'm so hyped for Bleach returning as an anime. Kuroko no Basket. My sister gifted me volume 2. I have read volume 1. Pretty good. But I don't think volume 1 is just good enough to make an opinion just yet. But if you want another sports series, here's Kuroko no Basket. We have Toriko. Toriko is a good series, but it's not for me, so I have personally dropped it. Maji is such a good series, but it is so expensive to collect in India. I just can't do it. But I definitely want to read this one online. Degree Man, want to collect that someday. Seraph of the End, pretty good first volume. It had a very good cliffhanger. I'll see if I continue it. I'll probably continue it, yeah. World Trigger, the first volume had really good comedy, but everything else just did not do it for me. Probably check out more though. Siren is about, I don't know, Siren's concept is really hard to say, but it definitely has one of the most unique plots in all of Shonen Jump. It's basically about a credit card which time travels in the past. That is probably the worst description I could give, but there's that. Now we have Moriarty the Patriot. It's a pretty good detective series. I haven't been able to get more of it just yet. Haikyuu is one of my favorite series of all time. This is how you do a sports manga. The characters are compelling. The story never gets dry. The artwork, Haruichi Furudate, is just amazing. This story is so inspirational, I can't start talking about it. If you are a volleyball freak or you don't know about sports manga and want to try a sports manga, just try Haikyuu. It is one of my favorite mangas of all time. I can't even begin talking about this. If you love slice of life, this is best for you because it has a lot of slice of life elements. And I love series like that which like incorporate slice of life with like action drama. I think those are some of my favorites. We Never Learned. It's basically like a harem manga with like a bunch of people going around. Not my taste, that one. I won't continue that one. We have Behind the Scenes. I mean, it's a cute manga. If you are into cute anime girls, then there you go. But now we have Behind the Scenes. I haven't read it properly just yet, so I can't make an opinion on that. We have Act Age. I don't think there's much to say about Act Age. It's a great manga, but if you know what happened, you know. Your Name manga is not actually worth it. I think the anime is like, the movie is just so good and it's way superior. I won't recommend buying Your Name manga if I've already watched the anime. Dr. Stone I'm not gonna collect because I've read most of it on Shonen Jump manga, the Shonen Jump app. So there's that. But guys, if you really want to read manga online, but you want to read it in a legal way and a very good way, check out the Shonen Jump app. I think they have like a fees of 200 rupees per month, but they have every single Shonen Jump manga and I think it's so worth it. I think it released in Japan like 3 to 4, it released in India 3 to 4 years ago. I started using it like this year, I mean last year only, and it has been absolutely great. So if you want to, you can read these Shonen Jump mangas on the Shonen Jump as well. But let's get into the second of the manga. So my voice cut out for some of the manga series. I'm really sorry for that. But here we have Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is basically about this pretty average high schooler thrown in the world of sorcery, and it's basically a Naruto-ish sort of shonen, but at the same time not really. It's very dark and very grotesque. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I think the anime does a really good job, though you can still read the manga. I have been reading the manga on the Shonen Jump app, and oh boy, is this manga good. Plus the art style is just something that just stands out so much. So you can definitely give Jujutsu Kaisen a try. I think my voice even cut out when I was talking about Bleach. So Bleach, everybody knows that 1,000-Year Blood War arc is coming next year. I'm so hyped for that. I want to reread the manga once more. Bleach is just an amazing series. Definitely know why it's in the big three. And here we have Batman and the Justice League. It is a decent adaptation of the DC comics, but it's definitely not one of the best if you want to get into DC. But if you're already a DC fan, then I think this is a really great manga for you to read. And let's get into the other row now, shall we? Okay, so we have Food Wars, and Food Wars is one of the most unique shonen I have read in my entire life. Like, holy. Food Wars is basically about Soma, who goes into the most elite cooking school in the entire country. Then he has to battle it out for being the best. If you know how to cook, if you know how cooking works, then I can see this being a favorite manga of all time. But as somebody who's not that into cooking, I'll say that this manga is definitely pretty subjective. I mean, I quite like it, but I would say it's definitely not one of the best mangas I have read. Though it's still pretty good. I really like the slice of life element in this manga more than the cooking. If you want to see if Food Wars is for you, I'll say read till volume 6. I think that's a pretty good point to know if you'll actually enjoy this series. Also, I got 2 volume 4s. Thank you for that, Amazon. And this Food Wars is not for everybody, but if I have to say so myself, I'm quite enjoying Food Wars up to this point. And Soma is such a Chad. He's so confident in himself, which you usually don't see in what they call it, shonen manga. So if you want a really cool food shonen manga, I'll say definitely give Food Wars a try. Okay, so coming to Radiant. Radiant is a very unique manga because Radiant is not like most of the shonen. It has a lot of shonen elements in it, but it revolves more of like a graphic novel. It has a more of like a Western influence on it, like French comics and graphic novels than manga. So if you want a very unique story, this is definitely for you. It has your average shonen power-ups and stuff like that, but the world of Radiant and the world building in this manga, it is fantastic. If you read up to like volume 3 or 4, you might not like it, but if you get into volume 5, 6 and 7, I am pretty sure that you will love this series. And I just love Radiant, man. I still have to read volume 9, 10 and 8 though. But just look at the spines. Man, let's just look at the spine, it just looks great. So let's get on to the other series. Okay, so I have only read till volume 1 of Fire Force, but oh boy, I love this manga so much. But the only thing about this manga is the anime adaptation for it is just so good. Like the animation is just breathtaking. So I don't really know if you want to read the manga or watch the anime, but the first episode is just so good. So if you are planning to get into Fire Force, I'll just say read the first volume. If you like it, then get into the series, because I think the first volume is just great. Like, I think Fire Force has one of the most solid starts to its series in a recent shonen. So if you want a very good shonen about fighting fire goals sort of, Fire Force is definitely for you. We have My Hero Academia. Nothing much to say about that. I was planning to buy all the manga, but now I just think I'll just watch the anime. But these 3 volumes also just look great. My Hero Academia again as well. Like, I can relate Radiant to more of my graphic novels like Amulet. I can relate My Hero Academia to more of like Western comics. And if you are into Western comics, I think My Hero Academia is just for you. Okay, so now we have my second favorite manga with my first favorite manga. We have One Piece. One Piece is a grand adventure about Luffy, and it takes a lot of time. Okay, it takes a lot of time to get good. I'll say around 30 volumes is what it will take, but when it gets good, it gets good. Like, this is one of my greatest stories I have ever read. The artwork, the story, the grand adventure feel, like, I don't think you will ever regret getting into One Piece. It has a lot of volumes, but each and every page of them is so worth it. Like, One Piece is just so great. Like, if you want a good action adventure, I don't think I can recommend you anything other than One Piece. I don't think there's any other manga that has such a sort of feel to One Piece. because it's a grand adventure, right? And the length of this series is like around 100 volumes, so it also feels like a grand adventure to you than like a series which only has like 30 volumes. So One Piece is like once in a life experience, and if you really want to get into a good adventure fun manga, One Piece is your way to go. Okay, so in terms of story alone, and like in terms of like the general, I think like in terms of the general anime fans, I definitely say One Piece is better. But why is Black Clover my favorite manga? And this is such a weird take, and have definitely be clowned on for this. But the thing about Black Clover is, I've been watching it probably since the starting of the anime, and I have been watching it week to week for almost 2 to 3 years. So there is that special connection with the series. Plus the artwork and the story is just too good, man. I don't know. I can't even express in words why I like Black Clover so much, but like it's just a sort of feel to it, and it's just a sort of nostalgia to the series that I don't know. It's just my favorite manga of all time. So I had to take off my headphones, so sorry for the not so crispy voice quality. But right now we have Norigami, and Norigami is, I've only read volume 1, but the series is definitely good. I know that end of volume 5 has like a big cliffhanger, and just looking at the openings for Norigami, I'm pretty sure I'll love this series. From what I have read, this is really good, and I can't wait to get into more of Norigami for sure. Promised Neverland, if I even show you like, okay, I can show you the first volume. Here it is, and Promised Neverland is one of the greatest mangas I have ever read in my entire life. But I'll definitely say, if you want to read Promised Neverland, watch the first season of the anime and then continue with the manga. The season 2, they literally butchered the season 2. They literally took out the best arc in the manga from the season 2. If you want to get into Promised Neverland, watch the season 1, then read the manga, and I can definitely tell you, you'll have one of the best experiences. People like hating on Promised Neverland's ending. I can't really say much on that, but I mean, it wasn't the greatest ending in all of manga history, but it definitely wasn't good. I mean, I don't think that it has a really bad ending. I think it's pretty proper for what it is. Promised Neverland, a 10 on 10, I'll definitely recommend. And right now we just have some Japanese manga, Act Age and Black Clover, my Asta figure, this Haikyuu thingy I got. I think this is pretty cool. But that sums it up for the manga collection video. I'll probably have individual reviews for this series in the future. If I do, I'll definitely post them on the channel. And if you have any new concepts I can do for my video, do tell me. I'll be waiting for them, and I'll be seeing you in the next video, which hopefully will be soon. Okay, so I'll see you all. Bye bye.